Starting to the top right, the last man for Team StarTale, the WCS Season 2 champion, a monster in Terran versus Terran. It is
StarTale Bomber.
Bomber. A beast in this matchup. Nearly unstoppable.
up against a fellow Terran player. At the bottom left, the last man for Team AZUBU. It is
AZUBU Supernova.
Supernova has some of the very best marine tank in the world. Well, that style has kind of fallen off the grid quite a bit in this matchup, and he can do this. He absolutely can. But Bomber's in the zone right now, I feel. He knows he's doing well in TBT. He knows that he was probably actually going, all right, they're going to put sleep out. I'm a little bit stressed about this, but I can do it. Now he sees Supernova, his confidence has got to be through the roof.
It is a best of one, so builds, if you get a good build against your opponent, you can definitely take it. But it looks a little bit suicidal if you really just go down the match history of both players and have a look at their win ratios in this matchup. This is the matchup where Bomber feels the most confident and the most comfortable in general. He has an 8, if you look at the maps, like the map score alone, 21 maps played, 17-4. Leaves him at an 81% win ratio in maps. If you then look at best of threes in the match score that he has, he won every single match that he ever played in TBT, except for one best of one. Everything else he won. That was the game against Ryang that he lost. He won against Tasia with a 3-2. He took down Innovation with a 2-0. He took down Flash with a 2-0. And on the other hand, we have Supernova, a player who lost his last game against Yoda in Terran vs. Terran. Before that, he lost against Maru. He was successful against players like Keen and Ryang. But in general, he just has a win ratio a little bit over 60%. So this is a very ballsy play here by the AZUBU team. Supernova definitely a player who can win a best of one like this, but for the reasons mentioned earlier, we expected Sleep to come out, especially after the sick preparation that Sleep had for his Terran-heavy group at WCS Premier League in the round of 32, which was just yesterday.
Well, here's the thing. We have Double Reaper by Supernova, so he really wants to get the information. He gets blocked at the front, and that may lead him to believe there's a CC there. Once his Reaper gets in, he'll know the truth, which is in fact that Bomber went for a gas first build, so he's rushing out his tech. Looks to be going Cloak Banshee, which is actually good against the build that Supernova has chosen. And Factory is good to go here with the Tech Lab. It's going to be switching this. Reaper sees everything, and the Reaper of Supernova, the second one, denied Bomber's SCV Scout, so Bomber also is clueless right now.
Yep.
And it's a pretty good build that Supernova is doing here. It just has to be, he has to be careful about the Banshees. He needs to get an engineering bay out and make sure he has one turret, both mineral lines. He's definitely going to need that.
He should have, like with the scouting information that he has right now, he should know what's going on. Or should at least have an inkling. We have his own starport on the way, and with the double Widow Mine that is currently in production for Supernova, he has the ability to play this a little bit more defensive than he probably usually would, and can just use that if he doesn't try to go for a drop.
Yeah, and he sees the cloak being researched. He has the eBay on the way. He's even being very annoying with his Reapers. Double
Reapers at the beginning can do a lot. We have a lot of Terran players actually committing to a lot more Reapers trying to do that. We saw that yesterday when Dream was playing against Byung.
Yeah. I actually really like Supernova's position here. Bomber's tech has been scouted. He has a very aggressive tech build that's, you know, it's one of those ones that has to do damage or you're going to find yourself behind. I mean, look how late his CC is. Supernova is mining from 2 CCs right now, and the positioning of these Widow Mines is likely going to catch the Banshee. This is really nicely done. He's making 3 turrets, one at his main, one at his natural, one at his production. He is set up to trash Bomber's build here. He is so ready. Even the Viking out here. And here goes the Widow Mine. It's going to get the shot off right away.
Widow Mine is got... Oh, actually...
barely not.
Yeah. Scratching the edges here, he's getting a little bit lucky, but the Viking is already in position. Here comes the Cloak, and with a good scan, doesn't use it.
He's just saving his scans because he's got turrets. He doesn't even need it.
Has the turrets there, and he's using them already. Bomber is currently going into the siege tank production a little bit faster than his opponent. Still trying to stay outside the range of the missile turrets, but he can't really make that happen. Once again, just trying to move in, trying to kill as many SCVs as possible. And he realized already that this is a really annoying position for him to be in. Supernova scouted what was going on, and he reacted accordingly.
Banshee gets 2 kills.
3 actually.
3 at the end, yeah.
3 and a scan. Could have been better, but that is... Oh, actually, this Banshee? No.
See, I would have moved the Widowmine actually at this point. Oh, no, this time he's going to get it. Oh, barely not. He saw the Widowmine now, so he's not going to fly there, but...
Doesn't see the second one. But he is cloaked, so that's not going to be...
Scan goes down, and boom.
Yeah. So 1 scan baited out, but that is kind of it. And we also have Cloak coming up for Supernova. So Supernova is trying to use his own Cloak.
And that's going to be great against the Siege Tank push that Bomber's putting out here. The Siege Tank push is a great follow-up when you don't do a lot of damage, but with all of the tech that we have here, and he's going into a mech composition here. He's going to have Hellions, more Banshees, Cloak, his own Siege Tanks coming out pretty soon. He still has the Widowmines too. I still like Supernova's position a lot more here.
Well, Bomber needs to do a lot of damage with this, because his biggest problem is that back at home he doesn't have a lot of defense. Supernova has of course the better Harvester count, so in terms of army size, Bomber has a bit of an edge over him. The Banshee has also been spotted, but there's just no defense against it.
He doesn't even have an eBay, Kaldor. He's basically...
He needs to get the Viking out. Like, he doesn't even start one. There we go. He cancels the medivac. He needs to do damage with this push now. If he doesn't do damage, then Supernova will most likely win this. 1 Widowmine shot baited out. He sees the second one.
Oh my god. Oh, even gets the shot, kills several Marines. The bunker finishes here.
That has to be... This push is not going to work.
No way. He doesn't have enough to kill the Banshee. The Banshee will kill the Siege Tank.
Banshee not taken down by the Marines. He's trying it, nearly taking it out, but that's just not enough. And Bomber suddenly on the brink of losing this game.
He's losing every SCV at home. The Banshee hasn't even cloaked, and that's going to be game GG! And Supernova ends up being the guy who they needed today. Unbelievable.
Crazy decision for me to send him out, but he has the build that he needs to take Bomber down. Really an accomplishment given how strong Bomber is in this matchup. But the push that he tried to use that didn't work.
Yeah, Bomber played a good strategy, but it was a risky one. And Supernova with his double Reaper opening scouted everything.
I don't even think that was the problem. The problem was really just that he didn't expect his opponent to go for a Banshee counter. If the Banshee doesn't happen, he plays this game out. But with the Banshee taking down all the Harvesters at home, he doesn't have a follow-up. You could see right from the beginning that he never really intended to be this like a single attack. He always had the expansion back at home that he set up while he was moving out. But with the Banshee taking out everything that he had, him not having a Viking, not having a missile turret, not even the eBay, he couldn't counter it, and that's what killed him.
I still really like the defense from Supernova from the beginning, just not pulling any chances, making the 2 Widowmines even first, and then he has a great defense setup for the push that comes afterwards. And even if Bomber doesn't attack because he sees the Banshees and he defends against the Banshees, then Supernova still had that base up for way longer. He's got the better tech. The Banshees just needed to do more. At the end of the day, though, you're right. He got forced into making an engagement that was never going to work against the Banshees, and he didn't kill the Banshee with the scan. It was just everything went wrong, and Supernova puts AZUBU in their first win here against StarTale.
Supernova's defense was ready when it had to be. When those few Banshees tried to move in, he had the missile turrets exactly where they had to be. You could really see how Bomber was trying to skirt the edges to find a spot where he could stay with the Banshee for a little bit to do damage, where he would not be detected, but he didn't find that. The Banshee was always in a spot where at least the reveal would come in, and then the Viking could do the damage. Even when he dodged all those Widowmines, he got 3 kills with the first Banshee, baited out 1 scan. With the second one, he only baited a scan, nothing else. And the attack then was good, but the counter Banshee, that's what finally killed him. I mean, the push alone already is something that would not have killed Supernova, not with the defense that we had there. But the Banshee, the counter Banshee that we had for Supernova, that was the winning move for the AZUBU player. Really well done.
Yeah, really well done. And he takes the Terran versus Terran, not the player we expected.
Yeah, not at all.
But he gets the win. And now AZUBU takes a win that's not a great indicator for them because they only get the +1. But taking the win alone, with a lot of the team changes they've been having a bit of a tough time here in Korea. But now they're getting themselves back together here, and they take their first win against StarTale of all teams. A lot of people thinking they're going to take this season.
For me, actually, the winner of the player of the day was Patience. Patience in one of the first games that he actually has, like taking that win against an experienced opponent like Furious. That was the most important thing, the key thing today in this match to win it. So that was really well done.
We'll see what the coach has to say. How do you feel about winning your first match? He's asked. His face shows it. He doesn't have to say anything.
제가 지난 시즌 하면서 선봉전에 지게 되면은 거의 이기가 힘들다라는 걸 느꼈었는데 오늘도
네.
사실 그렇게 시작을 했거든요. 그것도
Last season he
아무것도 못하게
felt
졌을 경우에는
the importance of the first player playing the match.
포기해야 되는구나라는 걸 느꼈는데
But
와 이렇게 힘들게
the first player was able to win today.
이기지 않습니까?
그렇죠.
Symbol took a few matches and then carried them in, so his first player did not win
그렇게 힘든
the match.
마지막길을
So
가면서 결국에는 그
that
과일을
was.
따먹으면 되는 거 아니겠습니까? 승리
I think he
따내는
must have said
거잖아요.
his first player did not win the match today. So
오늘 좀 주목할 만한 점이
so he
먼저
misunderstood
저는
there,
이
but,
선수에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶어요.
Yes,
Symbol was the symbol delivered. He really did.
동점 상황 2대2 살떨리는
Yeah, I guess that Symbol is the MVP of the day. Usually the player with the most wins is the one who takes out an important player at the end.
있다면 이건 어쩌면 거짓말이죠.
He's actually now being asked why exactly he sent out Patience, and as I said, like for me personally, that's the critical thing today. And Patience, he won the game, and that was very important. So that's exactly what the coach is saying now. That it was a player he didn't have a lot of experience. He was up against a very tough opponent, and Patience was apparently very confident going into the match, and doesn't get nervous playing in front of a camera and in broadcasted matches apparently. So he trusted in Patience that he could do it, and yeah, it was justified.
Yeah, that was a really good pick. That's my pick of the day out of all the players we saw today. Curious was a good pick too, but Patience just ended up being the best pick. For me, I mean, yeah, Supernova was also a pick that was controversial, but Patience is definitely the best pick that they had. So they have fewer Protoss players than last season. Genius and Son being two notable ones who left the team.
Well, if Patience actually continues like this,
I'm just saying he feels that Patience is a very good addition to his team. He's just laughing so much that it's like hard to understand what he's saying.
well, he can be happy today. They won the match.
I mean, he's like hysterical, like he heard the best joke he's ever heard in his entire life. He's not even being asked funny questions. They're like, oh, okay, so you have less Protoss players, what do you feel about that? And he's just like laughing hysterically for no reason.
한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
적당히 올라갈 만큼은 올라가고.
So it's just being asked to comment on the season now, giving a statement towards the fans what they can expect this season.
시즌 1이었었거든요.
네.
So he's talking about that they advanced to the playoffs the last season, but they weren't able to win the entire thing. They gained a lot of experience in the last season and kind of know a little bit better how to handle their team and what to do in critical situations in a match. So he personally thinks that they're going to do a lot better in this season.
Yeah, it's just like say these tough choices, like sending Supernova out here, that you have to make, and sometimes it works out. You know, when he has the experience, he knows his players well. He chooses Supernova, and it ends up being the right choice. Choices like that, you might make some mistakes in your first season, but now it's his second season. He has a lot more experience, and that's really showing here.
자, 그렇다면 아주부의
Bomber being such a tough opponent to take out, you know, he's doing so well in Korea right now.
이 선수 오늘 이야기를 한번 나눠봐야 될 것 같습니다. 조지현 선수 나와주세요.
So we're having an interview with Patience. I really like that.
네,
Yeah.
안녕하세요.
아
Oh
목소리가
wow, he sounds really shy.
목소리를
He's very young as well.
네, 약간 허스키 보이스에 뭐 소를 물 것 같은 소몰이 창법을 굉장히 잘할 것 같은 뭔가 그런 중후한 목소리를 갖고 있는데 조지현 선수 오늘
That guy is really intimidating.
가져갔습니다.
Didn't they just say that he has no problem playing in front of a camera?
Yeah.
I think giving interviews in front of the camera is a little bit different.
연습할 때 한만
So he's being asked how it feels to go into his first matchup or first match in the GSTL.
He said basically just convinced himself like I can do as well as I do in practice. And it was actually a little bit more nerve-wracking for him than he thought it would be, even though he told his coach previously that he was not nervous. On camera.
Seeing this guy taking out Curious, the only question here for me that they should ask is like, why did Gerard never send you out when you were in the prime team?
Yeah.
아 10%.
10%. 야, 그러면은 한 80% 이상 나오게 된다면 최지성 선수와도
네.
So he said he's 70% of his TBZ or his PBZ, and his PBZ felt only 10% of his potential. So he's got a lot of room to grow, a lot of room for improvement going forward.
I mean, he impressed today, so I feel with a little bit more experience, he can definitely grow.
Yeah, and this is just the first day of GSTL.
Exactly. I mean, it could be that we will see him in the past maybe struggle a little bit more. We saw that in the past as well. So that in the future maybe he struggles a little bit more going into those games. But at least his first performance here, it was really well.
끝판왕을 잡겠다. 이런 의미로
So
받아들이도록
as soon
하겠습니다.
as
조재현 선수 이제
he gets
많은
more
팬들에게
experience,
전하는
he thinks he could
선수가
actually
있습니다.
beat
이런
Palmer
경기를
next time they
펼치는
face each
선수가
other. He just needed a little bit more experience in the booth, and he feels like that was one of his problems going up against Palmer.
각오 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
So that's very bold words coming out, you know, against the WCS Global Final winner.
Yeah, I mean, if he can back it up, that would be amazing for AZUBU. He has to show us the season.
1승 축하드리고요.
So he says he's going to do his best in practice so that he can come out more in the GSTL matches actually. He's looking forward to his next match. So are we.
자, 축하합니다.
So interview with Supernova
네, 오늘
as well
마지막
here.
경기
Him really being not simple,
최지성 선수를 만났어요.
but him
챔피언
really
경기 봤을 거잖아요.
one of the top players here, and he's the one who takes the final win, which is arguably for people sometimes the most important player.
뭐 그렇게 주눅 들거나 하지 않았어요. 충분히 이길 수 있는 상대.
Even though Bomber is the champion and a really good player, Supernova was really confident against Terran players, so he didn't really feel very nervous. In fact, just the opposite, he felt very confident, and I think that's one of the reasons why the coach chose to use him. Maybe Sleep was not feeling up to snuff against Bomber. You know, he's like, oh, I played well
I would
against the
like
Terrans,
them to
but
ask exactly that question.
한번
Why
해보겠다.
did they choose Supernova over Sleep today? Like, what was the reason for that? That would be what I would really like to either Supernova to answer, he probably knows, or the coach.
시작도 좋기 때문에.
Just talking a little bit about the last GSTL, he was saying that he was not able to contribute too much to his team.
네.
And he's trying to improve his plays a lot more in the GSTL to just do better and help the team.
또 풀세트까지 보여줬잖아요. StarTale도
So since we saw that teaser of the accidental symbol overlay, I think we're probably going to hear from Symbol too. Or actually, I guess not. We've heard a lot from Symbol in the past, so wouldn't surprise me if they're just like, yeah, well, Symbol, you know what he's going to say.
Well, Symbol got his wins today, so he definitely was one of the major contributors for this victory against StarTale, which is, of course, for both of the teams, the first appearance this season.
So, only our second match of the team league, we already have some pretty close scores going through here. A 4-3 win for AZUBU. Boom Boom losing the first match, Symbol getting a few points there. Falling to Curious at the end of the day in a crazy comeback, really exciting game. Definitely go watch that if you haven't seen it. But it's Supernova who is able to come and clench things out after Patience took out Curious.
Currently, as you can see in the standings, we have Axie Mesa and AZUBU. I'm pretty sure that's written with a Z. At the top of the ranks.
Yep. And
Seoul, the only team that hasn't played yet.
Exactly. If they want to take the second place spot or tie for first, they've got to get... getting second place would be as easy as getting more than 2 kills over their opponents. But if they want to get tie first, they got to get an all-kill. Otherwise, Axie Mesa with Invasion's all-kill is going to keep the top spot. And our next match, of course, going to be Axie Mesa, the all-killers themselves, up against Seoul here. So that's going to be an exciting one. Seoul under some new management, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to come through here.
And they kind of lost one of their own, who's now playing for Axie Mesa, so that's going to be a very interesting match between the two teams.
How iconic would that be if they have Innovation as a starting player again, and Seoul has to go through him first before they can even face anyone else?
It would be an interesting match, and it definitely is going to be. That's going to happen next week on Tuesday, of course.
And then, of course, on Thursday at 1 p.m., the same time as it started today, we will have AZUBU up against FX Open.
This is kind of it for the day, guys. So we have our first two match days in the GSTL Season 2, and so far we've seen that Innovation was able to perform his all-kill. It was, of course, happening just 2 days ago, where he played really well against Team FX Open, took down all of them. And today, in a very, very close match, we have AZUBU triumphant over StarTale.
Yeah, very well played, and Supernova able to take that last game against Bomber, of all people. Really pivotal match there. And that's what decided things. A lot of people think StarTale's the strongest team this season. They're thinking they're going to take it all, but Axie Mesa, in fact, is the one who's in first place. AZUBU beats StarTale, so things are already shaking up, or already in our second match.
And Life already shown that he apparently did not overcome the problems of the past, so he not able to take down a single opponent today. Granted, he was up against a very strong Zerg versus Zerg player, but still, he was always one of the players that delivered for his team in the past. Not in the last season, though. And the trend kind of continues. Avenge with a victory in the first game, so at least he was able to perform and to deliver. But StarTale, they have they need a few more players. They cannot always rely on Bomber to win it. Today he lost in the final game, and they need just someone else to deliver those points.
I would like them to somehow get another Protoss, get some Protoss talent up there, because they're usually using only Avenge.
Well, they have. I mean, with Balloon, they have new players. They still have Panic. We saw him once last season. Maybe that's someone that they're going to use a little bit more this season.
Yeah, Balloon, if he can come out of his shell here and really show some great games, he could be the one.
Well, we are going to see you guys back next time on Tuesday. This is it for the GSTL today. I hope that you enjoyed the matches and the show. Going to see you soon. Bye-bye.
4 kids later down the line. My progression is my profession. I'm doing shows with a 9. My mama's trying to kick, and my sister, she doing fine, and I'm making my way through life, no longer blind.